Hey guys, Jonathan here from the Riverdale podcast. I attended New York Comic Con last week. I attended the Friday Archie Comics panel and was lucky enough to receive an Archie Comics gift bag. Archie's been giving these away for the last couple years. They usually give them away at San Diego and at New York. Just a super nice thing to do. It's pretty common to get giveaways at panels, but usually not to this extent. This is a super nice gesture on their part. So I thought we'd take a look at it together. I haven't opened this up. I haven't looked at it yet. So I thought maybe it would be a fun reveal to take a look at what I got. It comes in this awesome bag, which I thought was a nice touch. I didn't want to go without saying that. It did have a handle that eventually gave out after carrying it miles in New York City. The bag is super tough, and I thought that was a good move on their part, knowing that convention goers are going to drag these things all over the place. So the books look to still be in really good shape, despite the fact that, as I said, I carried them all around New York. So let's go down the pile. We'll see what's in here. First up is Veronica's passport. Okay, I knew that was in there because I looked through the plastic a couple of times. But this is a bunch of stuff from the 80s Veronica series, when that's first launched, maybe 88, 89. I know we talked about the first issue on the podcast before, but this is early Dan Parent stuff. One of the first books he really kind of took over. I think he worked a lot with Dan DeCarlo on that as well. So early Dan Parent stuff, that's awesome. And a modern Dan Parent cover on there. So that's a cool juxtaposition there. Awesome. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Volume 4. This is the Tanya Del Rio stuff. Originally printed in color, but reprinted in black and white, which I think works. It's a manga style. And a lot of fun. I talked to Tanya Del Rio last year, I think, when the first volume came out. Did great stuff. I can't recommend that enough. Archie's Giant Kids Joke Book. I'm curious about this because this came out 2 summers ago. I think summer 2013. I like the paper stock on it. There's something nice. It's a nice matte paper stock. It's not that glossy stuff. And it looks like a lot of like single page gags and things like that. Sort of short zingers, if you will. Yeah, that looks great. They've sort of repositioned the panels and stuff. Looks like they took some time with the production of that. So that's a lot of fun. Hundreds of Laughs, LAFFS. I'm not sure what that refers to. Ooh, look at that. Archie Americana series, Best of the 50s. It's the first volume. Awesome. Wow, this looks great. Check out that. Old style Archie comic stuff. So I don't know if that's Harry Lucy or Dan DeCarlo, and I should be ashamed of myself for not knowing. This is cool. These are a little underappreciated at this point with all of the reprints that we're getting now. But this was a big deal when this series started. I believe in the 90s, and they went through by decade. They did 2 volumes of the 40s, 2 of the 50s, 2 of the 60s, 2 of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and they wrapped up with part 2 of the 90s pretty recently in the last few years. So these were very carefully curated and nicely published. And in the era that they came out in the 90s, these were stories that you could not get. So these were pretty important. And IDW reprinted these. They collected each of the 2 volumes into 1 volume. So there's 1 big hardcover volume of each of the decades. So awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to check that out. We got a bunch of single issues. Ooh, The Fox. Issue 3. The Fox is a tremendous series from Dean Haspiel and Mark Waid. Awesome. Yeah. Go back in the archives on the podcast last March. I talked to Dean Haspiel about the Fox series. There's also news coming out of Comic-Con about the next Fox series, so stay tuned to the podcast to check that out. Lots of New York coverage coming up. Archie's pal Kevin Keller, number 10, got that good tattoo style logo. Dan Parent did tattoo style pin-ups sort of like that for Betty and Veronica and Josie and a bunch of those. Those have popped up in different places. Oh, Kevin Keller number 11, the next consecutive issue. Awesome. I think we've talked about most of these on the show going back. Archie number 651. Cool. That's the Rockin' Around the World series that started with 650. It was a 4-issue series. Again, we talked about that on the show. That was a lot of fun. Oh, nice. Archie 654. This is the speed dating issue. We definitely talked about this on the show. Tony Topaz and Jughead are in there. Awesome. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Jeff Schultz art, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, love that. Awesome. Ooh, topical. Brand new. Betty and Veronica number 272, the first part of the Farewell Riverdale storyline. That just came out a few weeks ago. It's super generous of them to put that in there. Oh, awesome. I don't have this one. This is the variant to Betty and Veronica 271. That's that Jeff Schultz style he's been doing, where he does these amazing shaded pencils, and then Mr. Tito Pina comes in and colors those, so they look like a really rendered painting. Yeah, I love that style. So it's cool to have that in hand. What else? We're down almost to the end here. Ooh, the magic of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Of course, Sabrina is on everybody's tongues with the new release of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. And this is sort of a lost era of Sabrina. This is the early 2000s stuff that Holly G did. I believe she wrote and drew a lot of it. And a lot of this stuff, a lot of the things that she created in here were adopted into the Tanya Del Rio series and the animated series that's running right now, Secrets of a Teenage Witch. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Holly G created Shinji over here for this series, who showed up very prominently in the Tanya Del Rio stuff. What else? Oh, Life with Archie number 25. Awesome. Fernando Ruiz cover on there. Oh, wow. This is the Life with Archie number 33 variant. I believe that's Chrissy Zillo. Is that Chrissy Zillo? I guess I don't have a credit for it right here. Yeah, CZ13. I'm going to say Chrissy Zillo for sure. That looks awesome, that Josie and the Pussycats variant. I don't think I've seen that in hand. I've definitely seen the cover online, but that's awesome. Okay, last, but certainly not least, Archie Cyber Adventures. I think Joe Staten worked on this one. Yeah, pencils by Joe Staten, inks by Bob Smith, written by Stephen Oswald. I don't know a lot about this, except that it's sort of like a video gamey virtual reality thing. It'll be interesting to check this out. Maybe I'll talk about this on a future video. There's Archie fighting someone who looks a lot like King Koopa. Right there. So that's like a virtual reality thing, I guess. Awesome. Yeah, I've always been curious about this. I've never actually known what's going on in here. I believe this was a story that ran serialized in the digest that they then collected in a volume like this. So, awesome. Super exciting. So, let's just take a look at this stack. It's a huge number of books. A bunch I have, a bunch I don't have. If you're a regular follower of the Riverdale podcast, I bet that some of these items will be showing up in future prize packs that we're giving out. So, super generous of Archie Comics. Lots of great stuff in there. Lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of stuff to read and talk about in the future. Lots of stuff to give away. Big, huge prize pack from the Archie panel at New York Comic Con 2014. As I said, stay tuned to the Riverdale podcast every Saturday morning. Head over to riverdalepodcast.com. We've got stuff. We've got the Archie panel, a recording of the Archie panel coming up tomorrow, coming up on Saturday. So check that out, episode 137, if you're listening to this later. yeah, it's a good time to be an Archie Comics fan. There's lots of good info coming out of New York Comic Con. So be sure to stay tuned to RiverdalePodcast.com. And thanks.